Hello, everybody. I always gotta wait like 20 seconds after I press the button because it doesn't start on Twitch until like it's 20 seconds. Like it takes an inordinately long time for the thing to actually transmit. So I've got a lot of archive footage where the start of the stream is like me mid-sentence.
Did you share it yet? Is
Not
there
yet.
anyone even here?
Well, I did mention that it's happening in 20 minutes ago, so I'm gonna tweet that
No,
we're
you
live.
have to do a... You're supposed to do a getting ready tweet before you even start. That's the
that's
Twitch
what
rule.
Yeah, I know, I did that.
No, but you have to do it like right before.
Oh, well.
Come for the risque thrill of seeing the four of us just kind of like noodle about and putter on.
Oh yeah, we could have had a start screen too,
just-
but that's really high production.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I haven't even bothered with that kind of shit.
What are we, ninja?
I did
Oh,
just
that's
realize
right.
that I can't. I
Wrong
exited
platform.
Discord to make it so you don't get Discord beeps, and I can't fucking at here. Here we go. And now I'm going to shut down Discord again. Of course, that's not transmitting to any of you guys because you're just looking at the select controller screen, presumably. I'm also going to do the unwise thing, which is to unmute this and listen to my sound balance versus other people, because oftentimes people will say the sound balance is fine, and then I listen to it afterwards, and I'm like 20 decibels quieter than everybody else or something like that. So I need you guys to talk and make noise. And I need to also do that. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good.
Okay. It doesn't actually. That sounded terrible.
Well,
So
I mean,
you need to
it
adjust
doesn't
whatever
sound
setting
good when
you
it's
have.
looping over itself, but no.
I mean, also just qualitatively, you know, it's Rutskarn singing, so how good can it
Brett
be?
Skarn singing from his office in the kitchen, yes.
From my office inside the kitchen of a 5-star restaurant. Thank you very much.
Is that what you call your apartment?
No, it's just very cheap rent.
All right, so put up a poll a couple days ago with suggestions from $15 patrons and was voted on by $10 patrons to select a game for this Hangout, and they selected Streets of Rogue, which is a game I know very little about, but has somehow been in my Steam library for several years. So let's go ahead. We're going to play with keyboard because I don't know where my gamepad is. This all looks fine.
So how's everybody doing this morning? Or whatever time it might be on your particular Sunday. Actually, it is not even morning where I am. That's just how my Sunday's been going. I've just decided that this is morning.
I got up less than 2 hours ago. In fact, I'm just finishing off my first cup of coffee. So, pretty good.
Must be nice.
Once home to peace and prosperity, the city has fallen into the hands of a ruthless and dictatorial mayor. Elected on vague promises of lower taxes and more beer, his true colors began to show immediately upon his inauguration. The mayor's first
This is
executive
too
orders
real.
were a massive raise on taxes and a one-time confiscation of all alcoholic beverages. So this is like thoroughly in the... Probably won't happen for at least another couple years around here.
Well, I mean, we have a very beer-focused Ontario premier right now, so this is... Anyone living in Ontario right now is just... He doesn't confiscate the beer, but he is very beer-focused in his political endeavors.
Well, maybe this is where you live, because he stated that the confiscation was so that he could throw the mother of all ragers for his constituents. But in reality, there was only like one keg and a bag of tortilla chips. That sounds like a
He
decent
has his
party.
Ford Fest every summer, and this year a whole bunch of the parent-teacher associations decided to pay for a skywriter, or a sky, like the guy with the plane and the banner.
Yes.
Right.
And it was like a big anti-Ford, like cuts hurt kids type thing over his Ford Fest. So it was pretty good.
This is not sarcasm, but I sincerely appreciate the moxie of these developers to like put this kind of like insipid, like deliberately insipid backstory over a black screen.
Yeah.
Just like a little box at the bottom.
Nothing going
like, this
on
is usually reserved
on the-
for only the most like sort of grim and grave and dramatic like pronouncements. But they're just sticking in. Yeah, there was only like some tortilla chips and a keg of beer. It was lame.
I'm reminded of that Russian game where we were a taxi driver and it started with that big thing where they like replaced everybody's blood with mercury or something.
Oh yeah, I remember that as if from a dream. I mean, you know, after 9 years or so of spoiler warning, I barely remember anything that's ever happened, ever. But I remember that game in a particularly hazy fashion.
The Resistance has extremely high standards for entrance. Okay.
Oh, very
You have to
cute.
get through the tutorial.
Very grim, and then you get that little cutie with the beard and bloop bloop bloop. I'm a little sprite.
I enjoy this. This is a simple gag, but I enjoy the gag of like to join the Resistance you have to do the basic tutorial.
See, that lockpick looks like it should be a beer bottle. I thought we were going to party.
And then they use the fact that like figuring out how to use a lockpick
Oh my God,
on
he
a
blew
locked
up.
door is okay.
Oh.
This is cute. This is cute. I like it.
Well, I guess resistance leaders are not in short supply. I like how even in the resistance there's still a capitalist economy.
And he says, "What are you buying?" I have, like, actually kind of a dim take on video games referencing other video games, like as a joke, like as the joke and the
That's
punchline.
not what I wanted.
So some of you may remember the noise I made during the Assassin's Creed 2 season when our uncle said, "It's a me, Mario."
I forgot about that.
I must be
I
completely
think
joyless
there's
because I thought
certain
that was like.
references that fly better than others. Like, I think Mario's one of those, like, just... It's silly, but I think it transcends any other expectation, because it's Mario.
You gotta destroy
But,
the
like, Resident Evil
generator.
4, it's like, okay, we're still making this joke. Still making that reference.
Yeah, it feels like I'm watching a YouTube video from 2009. Don't mind that, they're just making a delicious bouillabaisse in the back there.
What?
Okay, so...
In the back of my office.
I don't know what a bouillabaisse is, though.
Is this the thing where I'm mispronouncing the
Okay.
word bouillabaisse?
What is that? I don't
No,
know what that
that's
is
right.
either.
Bouillabaisse is it is a seafood stew.
Okay.
There's also a chicken bouillabaisse, I'm informed by the 5-star chef, who is currently preparing the mise en place.
Ah.
Oh, now they're getting into a knife fight. Oh, damn it.
The bouncer doesn't want to fight us, but the resistance leader wants us to fight the bouncer.
So I'm finding conflicting reports.
Conflicting reports about how you pronounce bouillabaisse?
Yes.
Ah!
I'm so glad
Apparently-
we're right on to the food topics right off the bat.
Apparently the French is supposed to be bouillabaisse because it's like the French pronunciation of that string of characters would be bia and not boya, but I think the American bastardization is generally accepted to be bouillabaisse, and so I think most people pronounce it in the States bouillabaisse, but I think the French...
Life as an American is much easier if you just accept the fact that any American bastardization is good enough, unless you are speaking French.
And that's kind of a cool attribute of English, too, is that we have a bunch of French words in English that are no longer pronounced the way that they are in modern French.
And also not pronounced the way that they would be in English, like rendezvous.
This is why English is a really hard language to learn. Nothing is phonetic.
Yeah, I'm trying to improve my Spanish lately, and I've been trying to think about how difficult this would be if I were learning English instead.
How do I bring up my inventory?
It seems like you had a tripwire, and that was the tutorial for tripwires?
Yeah. Let's see. Control setup. Inventory is Q. Okay. A rock. Okay, I'm just supposed to trigger it, not shoot the emitters.
Alright, so what is the actual, like, objective of this game? I mean, in theory, we are supposed to, like, defeat the resistance here, but I feel like watching this, I actually have a pretty dim idea of what the gameplay of this is ultimately going to be.
It's supposed to be, like, GTA-esque, right?
Hmm?
Like we're like it's open world, isn't it? I don't know. I really do not know that much about.
When you say GTA-esque, are you actually referring to Grand Theft Auto?
Yes.
Not like Grand Theft Auto 4, like Grand Theft Auto.
Or Greater Toronto area, where this mayor was clearly based off of.
Ah. Alex is bringing the loop around.
Yeah. All well thought out and intentional, I'm sure.
Gradually, our narratives unfold. Josh, have you played? You have not played this before, correct?
No. I owned it for some reason. I'm not sure how exactly. But I've never played it, no.
I think everyone out there, if you go to your Steam page right now, you'll discover games that you own that you could not have told anybody that you owned. I'm just gonna go into my Steam page, and I'm just gonna read off a few games that I possess, where if you asked me right now, do you have this game, I'd say no, or I've never heard of that.
Oh, so we're in a Star Wars city kind of system.
Star Wars City kind of system?
You know, like how Coruscant is supposed to be like really slummy at the bottom, and then you got the mid-tower, like the mid-level.
Coruscant.
You know,
Oh yes,
it's been pronounced
Coruscant in the original French, Joshua.
Yeah.
It's been pronounced every fucking which way. Like it originally showed up in the EU, I think, and nobody knew how to pronounce it then. Okay.
Does Coruscant still exist?
Do you mean has it been
What do you
blown
mean?
up in the universe
Was
that
that
is
the seat
famous
of
for
the
blowing up
Republic?
planets, or?
Yeah. Was it no longer the seat of the Republic after the fall of the Empire?
I
I feel like after it became the seat of the Empire, you probably wanted to move it over. Or was it blown
So,
up
in the original EU, which is now Legends, it became the seat of the New Republic. And then when the New Republic fell apart, I think it stopped being the seat of galactic government. It gets weird after you get like 20 years out from the movies. And then in the new, in the canon that's going on with like the Star Wars movies right now, I think it wasn't the seat of government anymore because they blew up some other system with their big super weapon
Starkiller
gun.
Base blew up 5 planets.
Yeah, and it was visible planets away.
Oh, well, here's one other interesting point. I own Daikatana.
I probably own Daikatana too, to be honest.
Why did I purchase Daikatana?
You know, Daikatana is a weird thing to think about now because it was bad for its day. It was a big debacle for its day, but it's like we've gone so far beyond that now.
It really is not that bad. It's mediocre, make no mistake, but it does not deserve the reputation it has. I have played worse games this year than Daikatana.
Oof.
Josh has watched me play some of them.
Yeah, I mean, well, you sought them out. Like, this is not some accidental sort of thing.
So I'm still going through my Steam, and I'm giving myself an additional challenge, which is I'm trying not to name any, like, tiny games that I picked up, because that's just kind of mean. Like, yeah, so I don't know that I had Orbital Gear or whatever, but, like, I'm trying to find, like, actual bigger releases that I'm surprised to find that I possess and could play if I wanted to. For example, I own Civilization 5. That's surprising.
You've never played Civ 5?
I don't believe I have.
Huh.
I own it. I could, at a moment's notice, play Civilization 5 instead of doing the stream.
Okay, so we can add different kind of weird traits. We'll probably not do that, at least not immediately. No, I don't want to do the tutorial again.
I own both of the first two. I own, like, Witcher and Witcher 2, huh?
Not worth your time.
Oh, interesting.
That's what I've gathered. I
Now
still
we
haven't
get
played
to
Witcher
choose
3.
Throw them in the garbage. Witcher 3, sure. Although I think it's one of those things where you have to decide, like, I'm gonna play this, but, like, I'm not gonna beat it.
Right. You have to go in with reasonable expectations of, you know, like, let's respect my time and play this to the extent that I care to.
Not to say that
Also,
you can't get anything out of, like, playing a quarter of it or, like, you know, whatever.
Right. I also own Black Desert Online. Huh.
Ooh, let's play that.
Here's the perplexing thing. I don't like MMOs. There's no reason I should have this.
It's famous character creator. That's the only reason.
Does anyone have an opinion on what the
it's worth
class
the
we
price.
should be?
What's the dumbest one?
Well, a slum dweller, soldier, gangster, thief, hacker, and doctor.
The hacker looks pretty cool. He looks like Marty McFly.
If
Gangster?
Marty McFly were balding.
Yeah.
The doctor apparently can't use weapons.
That sounds great. Let's go with that one.
All right. We need to spread your righteous message
You can
of peace
give him a
and
mustache.
chloroform by not killing too many people.
This is a roguelike, is it not?
I think so.
Ooh, all sorts of different hairstyles there.
Well, I mean, in that case,
Okay.
it hardly matters. We're gonna lose this character right quick, so may as well prepare for it.
That really distorts the hearing.
Alright, Josh, how would you describe the experience of this game control-wise? Because that's difficult to read.
It's kind of Hotline Miami-esque.
Okay, that's pretty good.
But with more of a focus on, like, you know, interacting with stuff RPG-wise. Like, you know, I can interact with these windows and stuff.
That's cool. Hawaiian Shirt Day is coming up. Can't wait. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wear these days.
Big quest. Kill fewer
I'll
than a
say
certain...
they are in style right now. I think we've been over this though, but again, I'll reaffirm, Hawaiian shirts are in style. They are the main clothing item you will see if you go into any clothing store in, like, the men's section.
Really?
Oh, this is an apocal day for what is in fashion has intersected with what I am wearing for just about the first time in my entire life.
Does it make you feel good? You know, like you're finally on trend?
You know what? I am tempted to answer that sarcastically, but what I will say is I feel good because I think that I look good. And part of the reason I think that I look good, frankly, is that I am finally making enough disposable income that I can spend it on clothes and not feel like I wasted my money.
Yes, yes.
So we need to destroy the generator here, so... What is that? Nothing. It's a drain. What does this do?
Your warp whistle? Yeah, it deafens
Okay.
people so that they don't hear you.
Yeah.
This is putting me gently in mind of Heat Signature.
A little bit, yeah.
Which I still think Heat Signature is a fantastic game. I'll be honest, every time Tom Francis puts out a game, I find myself wishing that other developers were paying more attention to it.
Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, it turns out it
Well-
will blow up.
Well,
You were heroic nonetheless.
Let's just let's just be a soldier and shoot stuff. That's what this game's about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
What's
the
our mission?
level has changed.
Excellent.
What'd you say, Chris?
What's our mission? What's our life goal?
Let me actually turn you up slightly.
Wait, what did it say? What was in parentheses after gangster?
Crepe. That's the crepe gang, I guess.
Oh, like the
Like
Crips,
the
but crepe.
Yes, but crepe.
That's pretty fucking weak.
what? I think that's cute.
I don't know.
I'll get rewarded with a boombox. All right. Does that cost any money?
Yeah, it's like a baking squad. They come up with new crepe recipes and
I guess it's just kind
they
of
gotta
like
protect
you
their
know,
secrets.
like the Crips are an actual thing.
How do I equip this? Right click to equip. There we go.
Oh man.
That's an excellent question.
Brett Skern's got me going through my Steam library, and I finally arrived at something that made me sad.
Just now, finally.
I stumbled across the fact that I own and paid full retail price for and played a grand total of 45 minutes of Cliff Bleszinski's Lawbreakers.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That was unfortunate.
Cliff Bleszinski in general is unfortunate.
That game doesn't exist
Should have
anymore, right?
refunded it.
No, the game
doesn't-
does not exist anymore. No, you can't play it. I could install it and I couldn't connect to the servers. And I don't think it has any single player game to speak of.
You should have refunded it and exchanged it for in-game cash in Cliff Bleszinski's Radical Heights.
Yeah, couldn't you refund it?
I mean, I bought it in 2017. I don't know if the window has passed on that.
Yes, I believe it is ineligible for refund.
Blow up the generator. It's your mission.
What the heck?
Yeah, you got a plus.
So I've been watching this with the sound off because, contrary to popular opinion, I don't love the sound of my own voice. And I have to say that the music is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It gets a little repetitive, I've noticed. We read the email.
That's unfortunate.
Whoa.
That's cute.
So we got the boombox. I don't know what that does. Play some jammin' tunes and distract your enemies by sending them into spontaneous dance. Oh, okay, that was just a use item. All right, well, I guess that's it for the boombox. Start a party. I'm gonna neutralize the thief. Okay. Oh, you can give blood for money.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate how realistic that is.
Okay, time to go. The doctors are trying to punch me. What's this? Ammo stealer. Goodbye!
I like it when I feel I narrowly escape.
Wait, so that's
It
chicken
pleases
nuggets?
me.
I want chicken
About
nuggets.
chicken nuggets?
Oh yeah, chicken
Is that
nuggets are
something we
the
just received?
currency. They've been outlawed.
Oh. That's silly.
And the great thing about chicken nuggets is, depending on where you get them from, they'll still remain a fungible currency even after weeks of sitting in your pockets.
So, okay, hypothetically, in a world where chicken nuggets are currency, like, can you trade in a certain number of nuggets for a tender? Like, you can go from coins to $1?
I think you'll find this is legal tender.
Oh, damn it, Rutskarn.
I thought you were just setting him up for that.
Doesn't it feel like that?
Was it too late to fire Rutskarn?
No, I'm worse than that. I'm sad. I'm legitimately picturing an economy like MMO currencies where it goes from like bronze to silver to gold to platinum. I'm picturing like nuggets to tenders to breasts to like roast chickens.
One small unit of fried chicken is basically
That's a-
equivalent to a cent.
That's a
And then if you
ghost.
have 100 of them, you've got a bucket.
Damn it.
Wait, I can clone myself? It's slightly too expensive.
Jimmy McAwesome says, Chris saying breasts makes me uncomfortable even in the context of chicken. Man, this is going to be really awkward when you unveil the Aaron Signal reads erotic literature fireside sessions.
I don't think I could get away with it.
Ooh, a slot
You
machine.
think someone would stop you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We now have enough money to go clone ourselves. Hang on, I want to see what happens.
Doesn't that just give you a backup person in case you die?
I don't know. Maybe it gives me... Oh. Ha! Alright, I've got a follower that's me.
And now we're broke, but with 2 mouths to feed.
And no nuggets to feed them with.
And then Josh just lost the rest of his money on gambling.
You're the worst dad ever!
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Alright.
Is that your clone getting into a fist fight with the bartender?
Yes. All right, cool. We need to run from the cops now.
Is that a
Isn't that
that
the way
a
it goes?
you know what reference? Sandlot. Did we just do a Sandlot?
Oh, what?
I actually have not seen The Sandlot.
Okay, then I won't spoil it.
It's like,
You
I
can
think it's an
spoil
old
The
enough
Sandlot.
movie that you
Ammo
can spoil it.
thing.
You know, if someday I saw The Sandlot, and at some point it's like, oh wait, I just realized that I know how The Sandlot ends, I would not spend the rest of the day in a funk. I would hold my head high and say, you know what? I feel like I'm getting approximately the same level of enjoyment out of this Sandlot viewing.
Uh-oh. Oh no, our clone!
Oh, well, we seem to have frightened them into submission.
Yep, that works.
You gonna take that soldier home?
I
guess that soldier
I don't
is
know what
home.
To do with it.
I guess this cologne is from the screen, so. It seems
Ow,
so the
what?
cost of transportation. Oh, you just got piston whipped.
Oh, you moron!
You
was
moron!
amazing.
Why would you just charge directly into that turret? That's a clown move. Only a clown would do something like that, knowing full well that it was going to happen because it just witnessed it happening to someone else. Oh wait, no, he didn't. He didn't witness that. Someone else did. I can't put my finger on who it was.
Let's see here.
Check
Again,
for the
like
requirements.
I think
Like,
you have
what
to save
is
them,
the?
don't you?
Oh, you have to save them, and then you unlock the. What's the
I think
fake
so.
bloods called? Is that what's on the bottom left? The.
Blods. It's
They're
called the
blods. We don't have them yet.
That's less
again, I don't know
funny.
if this is. I don't know if this is like overly sensitive or whatever, but it's sort of weird considering these are like active criminal organizations in the United States that sincerely like kill people.
I just think they're so much more under the radar, or like not as prominent as they used to be anymore.
I mean, it's that's somewhat true, yes. Although it does still happen that like they kill people and that they are arrested.
It's just not at the height of the cultural zeitgeist, I guess.
I
Like-
suppose that's what it comes down to.
I mean, remember in the mid-90s and in the wake of not just the Crips and the Blood stuff, but all the, the LA riots and stuff like that, where you had, like, go back and watch Predator 2 and tell me the
Oh,
weird
yeah,
vision
baby.
for, like, 1998
What the
that it has,
fucking-
where,
So my goal is to kill all the bloods, which seems problematic.
a little bit, in multiple ways.
Oops. That was not what I wanted. Everybody
I
have a
guess it's
dance
starting to
party!
get less cute. I didn't realize it was like a whole thing.
It has a pretty it has a pretty wide foothold on this game.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do, like, if you're gonna do references and you're gonna do, like, two warring factions and it's gonna be real tongue-in-cheek, do, like, the
Hatfields and
Capulets and
McCoys.
the... Yeah, well, okay, we're that.
Yeah, like the thing about the Hatfields and McCoys is they squashed that shit like decades ago. Like they have a festival every year where they like have a foot race.
Is there
Over where the horrible murders happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
Doesn't look like there's an air filtration system on this one.
But yeah, I would go with Capulets and Montagues. It's a pretty boring choice, but at least then
What?
they're fictional.
What puns would we go with for Capulets and Montagues?
What about the Cappies and the Monties? That's cute.
The Mounties.
The Mounties, the Canadian version.
Romeo and Juliet, but it's insanely stereotyped Canadians and insanely stereotyped Americans along the border.
Ran out of time. Huh. Okay. Well, maybe we can at least get the
It
safe.
randomly generated a mission, and it's hard sometimes. Like, when you're doing these sorts of procedurally generated things, you have to sort of decide, are we making something that is, like, procedurally generated? What are the parameters of the things we're procedurally generating? Is it designed to be fun, or is it designed to be, like, random crap hilarious? And it's pretty clear which way this game is leaning.
Yeah.
Like, it's not interested in necessarily giving you a fair and balanced level. It's interested in making a fun time, wacky, random generator of stuff. Which is fine. That's a legitimate thing to do. But it does mean that you're going to fail a lot, and that failing is going to be sort of finding the fun in failing is going to be a big part of this game.
You know, here's a weird comment, but is it strange that this game, as goofy as it is one of the few, like, resistance simulators which actually, like, has fairly, like, vibrant civilian areas be the primary focus of the game? It doesn't feel like it's just a collection of, like, violent environments?
This man is immune to bullets. And he just murdered me in one hit. What the Oh, was that what
I mean, I think you find those...
I put a syringe, I didn't know what it
qualities
did, and it made him invincible.
Those qualities go pretty hand in glove. Yeah, Syndicate did do it. Although Syndicate was not a resistance game, which is what I'm getting at, because Syndicate is very much like that is a struggle against the man by a different man who wants to be the man. But it's like this doesn't this area sincerely feels not like a installation or like a base. It feels, you know, like even just kind of looks like there are people living here. There are streets. It is a town.
Yeah. Alright, so we need to install malware on a computer. What do we got to do that? We've got hologram Bigfoot. Translates gorilla speak into any language except for one, the language of love.
Yep. Dutch.
It seems to be passive. What the hell is that? Oh, I'll type it. Could I put peanut butter into the air filtration system? No. Okay. So I need to operate all the switches and retrieve evidence from the thief. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do with this character because, like, he has no weapons.
He can hack the planet. So.
Yeah. I think I need to be physically in contact with the computer to hack them, so... An ATM. I can't hack the ATMs? Come on!
Can you hack the... Chat is saying you can hack through walls.
Oh, I can?
Right click.
Well, there's no computers to do... Oh. How do I... Ah, okay. Oh, I can hack the security cameras. Okay, that's neat.
should actually play. I own Syndicate. I should play it again since I'm doing the whole. I mean, I'm pretty far along at this point with the whole cyberpunk villain RPG, but Syndicate I think is one of the few games which has also that kind of gameplay going. Although Syndicate you can win, as far as I know.
Can I read email? No, still can't do that.
What kind of hacker can't read emails?
Well, that would be rude.
It's not can't,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
won't. See that that's a funny joke because every video game ever has you like reading people's emails,
Yeah, that's like
and it's
basic.
yeah, it's like it'd be like refusing to listen to someone's audio log. It would almost be impolite. Like, what are you saying about that person that you would listen to their audio log?
Doing?
The audio log exists for you to listen to it. If you didn't listen to it, then the death of that person is in vain.
I want a game where there's audio logs and every single one of them is like their audition for a like karaoke hero competition in the base.
Interesting.
And it's like, you know, it hasn't been easy getting this far. Just surviving has been a struggle every day. And that's why I think that winning the karaoke hero competition would change my life forever. Now here's my performance.
Uh-oh.
Feelings.
Each time you listen to another audio log, your like sanity meter goes down.
Oh, I see. I think when I installed the malware, I unleashed a bunch of cop bots.
Has everybody and or anybody here played Eternal Darkness?
I
I have.
That's a great game.
The only game whose main character's name is Alexandra, so that's why. That's the only reason I know.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. In full. There's Alex's, but there's no Alexandras.
Fair. My wife introduced me to that game years ago, like back before we were even dating. And one thing, like whenever something's like somewhat bizarre, we'll like say that to each other. Like the thing that they say whenever they snap out of a hallucination. Every single character's like, "This can't be happening."
Did you ever make the refrigerator run? Or did you hack the TV?
Let's see what this
No.
does. What?
Don't be silly. Oh no, really?
It's a joke. I mean,
Did you know that was gonna happen, or you
No.
just guessed?
That was
I
pretty
knew
fun.
because that's exactly the kind of comedy this game is going
Oh,
for.
this is not where I want to be. Oh boy. Oh man. We need to get to the exit somehow. Oh.
They're saying freed prisoners will help us, so if we free some prisoners, we might have some backup.
Oh, yeah, but that might be a little bit outside of my capabilities at the moment. Fuck. Ah.
Oh. Yeah, that was never gonna work.
I want to give the hacker another shot. Now that I know that, like, planning malware will unleash a bunch of cop bots. What do we got? Neutralize the drug dealer.
I'm listening to 80s
Shoot a
commercials.
circuit
I'm
board
cool.
for another drug dealer for lockpicks. get from that? Beer.
All comes back to beer.
I think I'm breaking into a police station.
Yeah, smash the ship, smash the ship. Bellbots are bad.
Oh, huh. That guy got out. Let's see if he just dies. No, he's going back in.
When, like, what? How long do you think it's going to take? Like, what year will the movie Hackers become completely incomprehensible to teenagers?
I don't know.
I think we're already there.
Incomprehensible, like, right now.
Yeah.
It's mostly fair.
And I say that as a stand for the movie. I unironically enjoy that movie.
Oh, same.
It's fun.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Mess with the best, die with the rest.
There was a period of time for, I want to say like a few months, I had a picture of Angelina Jolie from Hackers on my stream in various places, like just, and people would know. Sometimes it would take people a long time to notice she was there. Yep.
What is this, a hotel?
I don't remember why she initially appeared there, but you know, I'm sure she hacked it.
Angelina Jolie from Hackers is just hacking your life.
That guy didn't die when I blew up his TV. I'm annoyed by this.
Seems not. Who's that guy?
He's a drug dealer. We blew up the TV he was watching. And now he's back to watching nothing.
Yes, that is right. The reason I had Angelina Jolie on the stream is because I used to do Black Desert Online character creator streams, and someone had requested I try to recreate Angelina Jolie from Hackers in BDO. So it all connects back to what we were talking about earlier.
Cool. Floor clear, elevator open. We just need to find a computer to drop malware on for the big quest. I think it's going to be back here. How many computers do you think there are on one level?
A lot? Seems like
Not
there's
a whole lot. There's stuff I can hack in, but those aren't computers. Okay.
Okay, so I'm not often logged into Steam, so I don't know how often this happens, but the Steam group I'm a member of just started, like that I joined about 10 years ago, just started spamming me with $300. $300. $300.
What the fuck?
So I'm about to go collect $800. I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh, fuck. My finger slipped. Instead of clicking on the legitimate link to get my $800, I accidentally clicked the link to leave the Steam group.
Wait, so is your goal to become the next mayor?
The king is dead. Long live the king.
Apparently I can teleport. Which I forgot about. How do I do that? What is that? Settings. Control setup. Nope. Teleport to objective, left control. Okay. Oh, neat. Okay, so I need to neutralize a guy who's part of the Bloods and he's just running around. I assume that means I need to kill him.
Well, don't inject him with invulnerability juice. That's my recommendation.
Yeah. She blueprints. I need to break someone out of prison. Actually, 3 people out of prison. Why can't I hack the ATM? Oh, okay, they can see me hacking. Whoopsie. Oh! Where am I? I'm stuck! Okay, let's quick escape to somewhere else. We're gonna go and play some slot machines.
Yep.
Yep, that was a waste. Oh, this guy's a mission for us. Gotta retrieve a hard drive from a chest.
What do you think about it? It's a
Chicken
waste to play the slot machines in general, because we're not going to live long enough to spend the nuggets on anything.
Yeah. Okay, doesn't seem like I was looking.
Well, you seem to be having some real success here. A certain qualified character.
Well.
It's an interesting question, because obviously gambling, you know, unless they
I can hack the
muck
slot
with
machines.
the odds. Yeah, gambling would be a bad idea.
I
You would
can
not actually
increase
want
the
to
odds of
gamble.
winning the slot machine.
Oh yeah, unless you can do that. I mean, there you go. But in a weird way, because this is a roguelike where the
busted.
money is used to upgrade your character, it would make a certain amount of sense to do that, to gamble your money, and then, like, you know, if you lose everything, to just die and let your next character try again.
Josh, don't do that. Don't do that.
It's a
Don't,
strategy that... It's a
they were
strategy that
saying
doesn't
you
make
could
sense for
sneak
any
in through the
individual...
broken window.
Well, I wasn't able to move through it, so I don't know.
It's a strategy that makes sense for any individual character, but does make sense for the player. That was a very understanding police officer. He's like, I know how it is. Sometimes you just gotta blow the shit out of a window for no reason whatsoever. Just pulverize it in passing. But, you know, we'll let you off this time with a warning. Don't let me personally see you do that again.
Uh-oh.
Use the interact button to climb through a broken window.
Oh. What the heck? What? Some random gang guy just killed the guy that was protecting this place.
That's
All right.
nice.
Nice of them.
Well, all's well that ends well. Sort of. Are you gonna dally here with these slot machines? a little longer?
No, I can only hack some of them apparently.
Well, all right then.
I have a sword. So, with these guys, it would be best to get them somewhere where I could just blow something up on their path. These are the... Oh, that's not even the group I need to eliminate. Alright.
I remember when Morrowind came out, and everyone was really frustrated by the fact that it was so stat-driven because it was a first-person game, and it felt like it should feel more like an actual first-person action title. And people complained that it was too stat-based, and you would swing at a mud crab and miss and miss and miss.
Right.
I concur.
feel the opposite. I feel the opposite about hacking games these days. Like, I want more stat-based abstractions. I do not want a literal moving a ball around representation of what hacking is. Like, unless you are Uplink or some other game that's actually about hacking, do not give me a mini game, because that is a very bad approximation. It's sort of the equivalent of what, to keeping things in the Elder Scrolls, what Skyrim did for its influencer communication skill was, where it was that stupid spinner.
Right.
Like, that's such a bad representation of what it means to
Oh
talk
man,
to
I'd
somebody.
forgotten about that.
You need to intimidate and praise and make a joke and something else, admire, and some combination of that is what really pays off for them.
Just as that he'd forgotten about it, I say, I wish I could say that.
Whoa.
What was the reception like for the first Deus Ex then, with the stat-based shooting?
I want to say it was okay.
It's very different to have a differently sized reticule for shooting than to
But it wasn't the size of the reticule even. It was the way that it would move would affect how accurate you were with the shooting.
I don't think that I think that was viewed as simulationist and therefore good. Oh, you have to dump points into the skill to be really good at shooting, and people generally responded well to that because there was a systems explanation as to why you needed to in order to get really good at shooting and make shooting feel good, you need to be trained in it. What I remember the complaints largely being were how stealth was terrible because it didn't give you any indication on how hidden you were, and all the footstep sounds were ridiculously loud, even on quote-unquote quiet surfaces, because grass sounded like walking on potato chips.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm just surprised by that because I just... gamers just have such a fucking hard time with having control being taken away from them when it comes to those type of things, so...
Whoopsie.
But I guess back then, the original Deus Ex wasn't the gamer's game.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it helped, I think, that it had a history of things like System Shock behind it, where it was the thinking man, the shooter, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that clearly I have no difficulty with RNG-based stat checks, considering I have a tabletop background, and that's pretty much, that is exclusively my RPG heritage. But in Morrowind, having you swing a sword through someone or fire an arrow directly into someone point blank and just have with null feedback, just nothing, no noise, no response, just them continuing to attack you and often just kind of annihilate you. That was a very that's an example of bad design. People have actually gotten on my case about that. People have said that I'm betraying my RPG principles by insisting that a game require you to have the appropriate stats to have the appropriate effect. I think that on some level, if you're making a game that is a first-person role-playing game, your goals must be informed by what that what this presentation is about and what this presentation is good at. It's all well and good to say that you should preserve you should have an RPG experience which just happens to hypothetically be done first person. Okay, sure. And that way, when you want to attack someone, just point at them and select and let your character swing the sword without your input. That's fine. Or if you if this is in any way feasible, have it be that you swing your sword, and then if your skill is too low, they block it. That's a thing that would possibly make sense. That's probably the best approximation of what would happen. You wouldn't swing your sword and then just kind of randomly catch your arm and like blast your blade out at a 90-degree angle, what would happen is that you'd swing, they'd either block, they'd step out of the way, or not improbably, you would hit them, and then you wouldn't have the edge alignment proper, so like you would leave a scratch approximately the size of like a loose thread from a t-shirt somewhere on their body, and otherwise not do any real harm to them. Like, you know, if you're going to simulate, but if you don't have a way to simulate that, then it's just not the way you should be designing your game.
Ah! Someone's chasing me. Trying to punch me.
And archery, you know, it's not like I know that there are a lot of reasons why they couldn't do this directly, but if you wanted to make a game where you would fire an arrow and miss, just do it like Deus Ex. Have a broad reticule where you can't really control where your arrow's going to go that well, where it could kind of just end up anywhere.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that probably one of the best simple solutions to simulating skill with a sword within a role-playing game, first-person role-playing game, is just control attack speed. Just, you know, it's not necessarily the most graceful or realistic way, but it's a good compromise. Just have a longer run-up between you attacking and just you actually swinging the sword out. Of course, Morrowind does not have the worst combat system in the Elder Scrolls games. I still maintain that that is Oblivion by a fairly substantial chunk.
Yeah, Oblivion was just...
It's unsufferable.
Like,
insufferable.
It feels slightly better to, like, you know, swing your sword and hit stuff than Morrowind does, but, like, the way...
I'm not counting Battlespire. I'm not counting Battlespire.
Did you just punch that guy so hard he turned into a ham sandwich?
Yes.
Oblivion's gun
How
was good
random.
The difficulty all the way down. So, is it though? It's better, certainly.
I want an audio clip of Alex saying how random so I could play it when video games do that kind of crap.
Oh god.
I'm sorry, I was lost in my own world. What actually happened?
I
think Josh punched him and his
stabbed the
body
guy in the
bounced
back,
off the
and
wall,
he,
but...
like, he died, and he turned into a body, and then, yeah.
But all we saw was a ham sandwich.
Oh. Sometimes I just remember that there's an Elder Scrolls 6 that's going to come out at some point.
It might come out at some point. We don't know.
That's true.
I mean, the cops coming after you, that's fair. You did murder a guy.
I seem to be able to run faster than them.
The thing about
weird.
Bethesda is that... Go ahead.
No, I'm changing topics entirely. Keep going.
No, please do. I think that the people of this chat deserve to be liberated from my future gripings about Bethesda.
Look, Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be fun. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it.
All right.
There's going to be
about
some
it.
Khajiits and some red guards or whatever. There's going to be a dragon, I'm sure.
Uh-oh.
Next gen dragons.
Oh, this is bad.
Yeah, like Fallout 76 dragons.
There's dragons in Fallout 76?
The fucking the like plague or nuke mutant thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
It wouldn't bother me so much if it didn't feel like they were literally just taking a lot of the animation rigging and general AI of the dragons from Skyrim.
Whoa, boy.
How did you end up in a room with these people?
Oh, boy. Oh, neat. Like I got crushed. Oh, I'm dead. So, the problem I have with this is that I'm not, like, it seems like there's... The way that you want to use these mechanics to your advantage to do these missions is something that you just kind of have to figure out by trial and error over a long period of time, which is kind of annoying. I feel like it would have been better if there were like just a couple of classes that were selectable here rather than all these wacky ones that play completely differently to kind of walk you through the basic stuff. Let's just shoot everything. Let's do another run. We're just going to blow everything up. We gotta destroy all the generators.
Is this our sole game of the stream?
No, we could play something else if you got a thing in mind.
I wouldn't say I do precisely. I think we will reach a point fairly soon, if we have not already, where we have exhausted our topics regarding this game.
Yeah.
Let's just stream 80s commercials and make fun of them.
Ooh, I don't think you can get away with that.
I'm sure it's not legal.
I was born in 1991, so I can't guarantee I'll have actually seen any of them.
There's a whole playlist of 90s ones we can do instead.
Oh, even better.
I'll probably seen those. I'll probably seen every one of those.
I actually know a lot of American stuff, like children's television, because we used to steal satellite. We also used to steal cable, too. But we used to be able to get the American channels, which would always be, like, bittersweet because we'd see advertisements for things that we couldn't buy.
Right.
Oh, no.
But then we were aware they existed, which was kind of cool, but then it was, like, sad because then we couldn't buy them.
I feel like I get that feeling.
So if you're a Canadian pirating American cable, does that make it an international crime?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, no, because
All right,
I'm
we got
sure
her.
you would
We
be
got her,
able
boys!
to- Wait, what?
It was a joke. What were you saying, Alex?
Oh, I was gonna say, there's probably, like, things we could have paid for to get American channels on our TV. So if anything, we are stealing from, like, Bell or Rogers, who are
Yeah.
just, like, the two monopolies for telecom in Canada. So I don't give a fuck. I will steal from Bell and Rogers all day. It's technically my parents because I was too young to understand. But we were reminiscing about it yesterday when I was visiting my family yesterday and talking about how when my parents sold the house, they had to reconnect the cable lines the proper way after many, many years of having, like, the cable lines underground be all, like, pirated somehow. I don't know how my dad did it. Because that could have got us in a lot of trouble.
It is weird the number of things that had action figures.
That was kind of the thing in the 80s, right? They rolled back advertising regulations, and so you had stuff like He-Man and G.I. Joe and stuff,
Well, no,
and
but, like-
Transformers that were just like for action figures.
I'm talking about like movies that became action figures. Like RoboCop had a line of kids action figures, and Aliens, and lots of other movies that you normally wouldn't associate with kids.
Okay, I jerked
I
my
remember-
cable at some point.
You good?
Yeah. Alex, do you? So I asked a question a couple of times, which I don't think actually ever went through. Which is, can you remember anything that you saw that you coveted, like on American TV, but that was inaccessible?
Yes,
like in
yes. Oh, so many. Mostly like breakfast foods, because like you guys
really?
would get the really cool different flavors of cereal and stuff that we would never have. So like,
Oh yeah.
like the Oreo cereal and like the Fruity Pebbles and Chocolate Pebbles. We would when we would go down to the States for a vacation, that's where we would go, and like we had to get Fruity Pebbles. We had to go to the grocery store because they're so good. I love them.
Ow.
We don't have any other
I've
cereal
actually-
like it.
I have heard this from many Canadians before.
It was a thing. Like we had to make space to bring back cereal.
Yeah, I mean, like when you
Another
were a
thing
kid,
you
like it lives up to the hype.
Another thing you guys had that was really weird was you guys had like cereal straws. Do you guys remember those?
Oh yeah.
Si-
Dimly.
oh,
They're like-
Very briefly.
They're like straws made out of cookie, and like they were lined with like
Oh, the
chocolate
little
and stuff, and
exit.
you drink the milk from your cereal. That was like a very 90s thing. Was like parents wanting their kids to drink the milk from the cereal. In hindsight, probably didn't need it.
No.
What the hell?
Well, I mean, that's the thing now. Kids don't like eat or drink anything anymore. Everyone's
Wait,
super
what?
hyper. Like,
Kids don't eat
Like,
or
when I-
drink anymore. They just absorb the nutrients via their gills.
I
They
meant
download nutrients on their telephones.
I meant more that like when I was growing up, you had a lot of kid-centered food and beverage. You had Lunchables. You had
And Lunchables
Yeah,
certainly
yeah.
still
Squeeze-Its
exist.
and okay, Lunchables still exist, but like Squeeze-Its. Squeeze-Its are no longer really a thing. Not the way they
Yeah.
were when we were kids.
Or those like Kool-Aid jammers.
Or Kool-Aid.
Go-Gurts
Like they don't.
still exist.
Yes, they do.
But like every parenting couple I know that has kids, like their kids aren't allowed to drink like juice. Like orange juice is a luxury that's monitored because that's too sugary. Like that's where we are now, where we're
yeah.
like,
Cereal wasn't like breakfast wasn't considered a meal. It was like give them something as long as they have something in their mouth before they go off to school. Like I don't care if it's toast. I don't care if it's
Yeah.
whatever, chocolate, bullshit, sugary.
That's, and I have to say that I am now as an adult, it's just about my only vice, junk food. Like that's, and I, to an extent which like I kind of struggle with.
I'm
If
the
that's
same
like
way.
not kids, yeah, if that's not kids as much anymore, then I'm glad for that.
Because even like quote unquote healthy cereal, like
Silencer.
plain Cheerios, for example, is still not great for you. Like
No, it's not.
it's still
absolutely.
just like empty carbs, and it still has sugar, lots of sugar in it. You would be better off eating like just about anything else.
Yeah.
did anyone ever eat like the balanced breakfast they implied you're supposed to eat in one of those commercials?
No.
It's a fucking like
Yes, I
4,000
used to try.
calories.
just to recreate the end shot, like whenever they'd have like the shot of the cereal with like the whole meal. And I tried that a few times because I'm like, that's how you're supposed to eat breakfast. And then it just was like too much food. I was like, couldn't finish it. I was like, why? Like, who eats all this? No.
How did I get poisoned?
But oddly, it would always be with orange juice, even if the cereal was like a chocolatey cereal. It was like, I don't want orange juice with my Fruit Loops or my... That's not chocolatey, but it's like
You're
not
describing my
necessary.
breakfast.
Fruit Loops is like one of my adult cereal purchases for sure. Like adults purchasing a child cereal as an adult. Fruit Loops is one of them. And Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay, so I think this is a good time to confess that I have never eaten cereal with milk before.
What?
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 I have no interest in doing so, I have to say.
But that's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to put milk in it. That's how it's designed.
Oops.
How come?
Because then at least you're getting calcium.
Jeez.
You know.
Okay. Yeah, that's
And the
fair.
flavors are activated with liquid. So when you pour liquid over, like in milk, you know, just doesn't have
like
to be milk,
saliva.
but yeah. Well, you drool all over your cereal though before you eat it.
No, it's when I eat it, you know,
Because like
it mixes
the
with
milk
saliva.
mixes with the sugars and the chocolates and the flavors, and it all makes it makes it smell and taste better.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know, I've never had any complaints, I guess.
Well, that's because you don't know
It's
what
like-
you're missing out on.
It's like, doesn't it get soggy though?
It does get soggy,
Depends on the
but
kind
I
of
am a monster
cereal.
who eats food way too fast.
Yeah.
I'm not screwing around with my cereal. You know, I'm eating it before it even gets to that stage.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I mean, here's the thing. I don't like milk very much. I've never really. enjoyed it.
The clerk's. I murdered the office drone in the back, and the clerk's like, "Hey, knock it off."
Have you ever had non-dairy milk, like an almond milk or?
I don't like
Because
that
that's
either.
what I drink exclusively at this point, and I can't go back to normal milk because it tastes too much like an animal. Like it has a weird sort of like, or like a weird taste to it.
Yeah, like
that
licking
I'm
your
not
own arm.
used to anymore. Yeah, sort of. Well, sort of like that.
I don't know if that's how I describe it.
I mean, you know, yeah, I've tried. We really only stock non-dairy milks because you know it doesn't really do dairy.
Ah.
But I have to say that they just don't really appeal to me that much. I once considered putting like juice in my cereal because I liked juice growing up.
Oh my god.
I decided against it. I appall my spouse because when I have a beverage with a breakfast, generally I prefer diet soda. Apparently that's kind of perverse.
You're strange, Rutskarn.
What's wrong with diet soda?
Diet soda's fine. It's just diet soda is cereal.
In cereal?
Not
Yeah,
in
I don't
cereal.
put it in the cereal. Yeah. No, I just have it like a can of diet soda.
Yeah, I'm starting. So, do you know the theory that like there are slowly there are lizard people that have
What?
been
The dead are
slowly
restless.
taking
It's
over the
zombie
world?
time.
I
What?
don't see what you're implying.
So I'm starting to think that, and maybe I don't want to like verbally acknowledge the lizard people while there may be one in our vent chat right now, but
Excuse me.
Oh, the zombies are
Look,
eating
it's
everybody.
hard. I can only taste 4 flavors: fear, blood, pain, and Diet Coke Zero Vanilla Orange. So,
wait, is that an actual flavor?
Actually, the vanilla orange is way
Coke
better
Zero,
than it
Coke Zero
sounds.
Vanilla Orange is,
Yeah.
yeah, Coke Zero Vanilla Orange is actually delicious. Yeah.
Oh.
That is
It tastes
another.
like a
that
good-
was another thing that you guys had that it's the only soda I actually like because I don't drink any sort of pop soda, any of that. I hate it. But you guys had the special Pepsi that came out. I think it was Pepsi Clear, or maybe it was a Blue Pepsi, and I really enjoyed that. It is a limited time Pepsi though.
Blue Pepsi? I actually can't think of what the hell you mean.
Wasn't there a Pepsi Clear?
Yeah, Pepsi
something
Clear.
like
Yeah,
that,
we had Pepsi Clear. Yeah, Pepsi Clear. Yeah. I know what you mean. Crystal Pepsi.
Did it taste like blue? Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. I've never had it. They discontinued it almost immediately.
That goes to show you what kind of consumer I am.
Yep. I've seen people drinking like decades old Crystal Pepsis.
There was
Obviously
a
not
Blue
person.
Pepsi. Yes. Okay.
Oh.
I think like my mind went to Blue Pepsi, so I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, Pepsi Blue is a berry-flavored soft drink produced by PepsiCo in August 2002. That tracks.
Hey.
Why on
It's
earth
very
would they
good.
name it Pepsi Blue?
Cause blue.
Yes, that's exactly why it's such a bizarre name for a soda. Like,
All the other
Like,
Pepsi's
yeah.
brown.
I guess it works for Mountain Dew. They have like Code Red, Surge, Volt.
Baja
Not
Blast.
Surge was different. Baja Blast.
Shit,
Yeah, Volt.
that's-
Actually,
which is
Mountain Dew
blue, I
Volt.
think.
It was is my favorite flavor of Mountain Dew.
Anyway, I'm back.
Hello.
Yeah, I made the switch to diet sodas a few years ago. That's like I drink probably too many of them. It's like 1 or 2 a day at least.
That's not that bad. Compared to a lot
Yeah,
of other
it's-
people I know.
Compared to yeah, I mean, you know, it's better than like the point where it is a serious problem that absolutely requires me to focus on it. It kind of hangs out in that like that zone. If someone's pointing out like the blue raspberry slushies, yeah, no, I as an American, as a proud American, I have an instinctive sense of what blue is. I was born.
You
knowing
guys
what blue tastes
invented
like.
blue raspberry, didn't you?
Yeah, blue is that is an
Any
American
artificial
tradition.
flavor, I'm sure, originated in America.
George Washington like came down from the mountain and he handed out a basket of red, white, and a basket of blue, and that blue still lives on in the genetic lineage of the blue fruit that we slaughter every year to create our blue slushies.
Chris, were you here for the Pepsi Blue discussion?
I remember Pepsi Blue. It was weird.
Yay, see? I love it. I loved it. It was the only soda I ever enjoyed.
I mean, I'm sure it tasted good. I like blue. I like blue soda, actually. I again, like diet. If you ever like come down here and you're at a 7-Eleven or whatever, Mountain Dew Volt, I think, or Voltage. Let me look it up.
You know what I meant?
Basically the same thing.
Voltage. Yeah, it's the same thing. It is the same thing.
Ooh. I don't know if I
It's
want to go down
raspberry
this road
ginseng.
again, though. I've
I
been
miss
living
I
my
guarantee
life
you.
like-
clean.
Yeah. I guarantee you that if you have a Mountain Dew Voltage, that the flavor will be basically indistinguishable from whatever a Pepsi Blue tasted like.
Josh can also attest to what it's like to go grocery shopping with me in an American grocery store.
Yes, the
Very
quest
exciting.
for more Pop-Tarts.
Yes, because you guys had the Dunk. I say you guys like it's. I don't mean to say it like that, but you
No,
guys
we
had
do.
the Dunkin'
Us guys, yeah.
Donuts flavored Pop Tarts. So you had a whole series of different coffee flavored Pop Tarts, which was very nice.
Alright, so I'm gonna get on a soapbox here. A little recently, I lived in Oklahoma for like 6 months, and in Oklahoma, you know, this is just, you know, like Southern California now, you know, just talking, but I got used to donut shops that are open 24 hours a day and do not
What?
close for anything less than like Godzilla attacking. And
How
in
often
Oklahoma,
does? Oh, sorry. Finish the story.
Oh no, I want to field this question because this might
I had a
enlighten me more.
logistical question about a 24-hour donut shop. So how often would they bake the donuts? Would it be like once and then you're stuck having the stale ones at the end, or would they like bake 2 times a day, or what?
I couldn't tell you. I want to say they probably just make donuts once per day. I mean, you know, if you've got like some donut shops, they're making donuts almost constantly. So yeah, I don't know. So some donuts make like they make the plains all day long, but they just have like one batch of specialty donuts they make in the morning. Anyway, point is, moved to Oklahoma, and donut shops in Oklahoma close at noon, which I find despicable, because
That's normal.
you can crave a
though.
donut at any hour. I mean, you know, I'm sure that this is the state of the world, the sad state of the world. It's a tragedy. I wish I could correct it, but the only donut shop that was open more than a few hours a day, we're the only donut shop where if you felt like a donut at 3 o'clock, like an honest, you know, God-fearing American citizen, you could go get a donut, was Dunkin' Donuts. And Dunkin' Donuts donuts are the worst things in the entire country.
I remember early 2000s when Krispy Kreme was taking off, and everyone was like, whoa, this is what a real donut is. And now I don't feel like we care about Krispy Kreme at all.
No, oh my
Yeah,
god.
they
It's still
crashed
hard
and
to
burned.
find here. Because they opened around here and then they all closed, and now it's hard to find. So anytime
Yeah.
I see a Krispy Kreme, I'm like, yes, please get me in there. And luckily,
Krispy Kreme.
Korea is just absolutely bananas for Krispy Kreme. They have like a Krispy Kreme everywhere you go. And they've changed the game in terms of Krispy Kreme, let me tell you.
I'm positively disposed towards Krispy Kremes, although I prefer any, so you know, a lot of, like, the kind of small donut shops, like, kind of like the LA County area, there's, like, 3 of them per block. Pretty much, it's weird because pretty much any donut shop you go to that has a really, like, dull or weird name, like Bumblebee number 2 with my donut shop in Azusa, like,
What?
it's going to be, like, really high-quality donuts for some reason. Like, really high-quality donuts.
Bumblebee number 2 is also the name of my grandmother's perfume.
Ah! I don't
That's
know
a-
what we just learned about, like, from that,
Sorry,
but
it was
that's
just a
interesting. No.
perfume name joke. It was maybe not the right audience.
No, what I said, like, I feel like there's a cosmic significance here that, like, is escaping all of us. That there's some connection we can draw from this. But I'm not wise enough.
Alright, so the zombies basically killed everything on the level, so that was neat.
Anyway, I guess
I'm
where I
like
was
a
going with that is
cannibal.
that Dunkin' Donuts is very bad.
Remember in the hit movie Jack and Jill by Adam Sandler when Al Pacino is in a Dunkin' Donuts commercial?
What?
I say this entire... Yeah, I actually do... I know what you're talking
The
about. I've seen that clip.
Dunkaccino.
The Dunkaccino.
Wait, you mean you haven't seen the whole movie?
You know what? I haven't.
I have seen Jack and Jill by Adam Sandler way more times than I'd like to admit. More than
boy.
2.
Times more than one. Oh my
More
god.
than 2 times, probably more than 3 times, because it is such a delight to watch that movie with people who have never seen it ever, who have no idea what they're getting in for. It's one of the best things you could ever do with your afternoon.
You know what? I see that, actually. I think I would probably enjoy that.
There's so many just like what the fuck moments and like how did this get made moments and all this stuff where it's just
It was
how did they
in
get
movie
away with
theaters
doing
everywhere.
this? It was insane how much money this movie made too, and it's essentially just a giant commercial.
It's
Sorta
a
like
commercial
what we're
for
doing
donuts,
now.
which have the approximate texture and flavor sensation as a foot callus.
But yeah, it's really sad because Al Pacino is wants to date Adam Sandler in the movie, but the drag version of Adam Sandler. And
Oh, so
they
Jill.
eventually get him to do the Dunkaccino ad. Oh, and the reason he does it is so he can date Adam Sandler.
I feel like this
So
is a
it's just
metaphor
all
for
very-
Al Pacino ending up in Jack and Jill.
Exactly, which is why it's just so poetic.
Oh,
speaking of weird movies that we have to make people suffer through, Serenity is now out on Amazon Prime Video.
Oh
is
my
it?
god.
So
I had a bunch of
I
friends
can't
who were
wait
into
to see it.
Firefly. I never saw it.
Oh no, this
not
is
talking
not
about
the
that.
Firefly movie.
Oh, the other
No,
one.
The other one. Yeah.
It's another
yeah,
one.
Firefly, Serenity were pretty good. It's a pretty good TV show and a pretty good movie. It's not really worth carrying a torch for 20 years later, whatever, 15 years later. But we're referring to a movie which is absolutely worth carrying a torch for. If you don't know what it is, Josh, you should just go watch it. Because most of us, like, we were not willing to go out to the Cineplexes and, like, watch it sight unseen, like everyone was begging us to do right before, after the jump, they spoiled it for us.
I saw that movie in theaters. Now, I knew what was going to happen because I had spoiled it for myself, but I had to see that for myself. It
You
is
say it was
a
on
movie.
Amazon Prime?
It should be on Amazon Prime now, I believe, yeah.
Is it just free or do you have
Nice.
to rent it?
No, it's for free.
For Prime.
If you have Prime.
Prime free, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But it's on their Netflix thing and not their, like, rent movies in
Yeah.
2019.
I rent movies all the time.
Yeah, I know I do too. It's but
Well,
it's like
online,
it's
yeah.
one of those like, oh, shouldn't we not be doing this and everything should be Netflix now? And then it's like, no, not really.
Yeah, whatever.
I need to destroy the overclock generator in here.
It's okay. So this is annoying. Like I had to like go to Twitter about this to see if it, I was kind of hoping somebody would point out something, an obvious thing I'd overlooked, but it's really arbitrary which movies you can find on streaming services if they are not like, you know, obviously this would be on a streaming service. Like if it's not like a Marvel movie or like, you know, a major Hollywood movie from the past 20 years or so, it's kind of like, is it going to be available for streaming? You know, it's kind of dicey. Like I really want to watch The Deluge, which is like, I think like the third highest grossing Polish movie ever. And it's just fucking nowhere. Like you could buy a DVD for like $60, and I don't think it's region compatible or has like English subtitles.
Oh, Rutskarn, it's a journey, and let me tell you. So this was very annoying for me when I was in my bachelor's and my master's, because I did like a half film, half English thing. So anytime you'd have to try and watch a movie, it would be like, if it wasn't made in Hollywood, you probably weren't going to find it, so you had to download it, and it was so shitty. Because like I want to buy these movies and I want to support these movies and like the directors, but like Criterion DVDs are fucking expensive, and that's like the only way you can access a lot of the versions of these movies. Now, luckily, I have been having a good experience with the Criterion channel, which only just came out and is actually available in Canada, unlike Filmstruck, which wasn't. So it's like the Turner Classic Movies Criterion streaming service where you can access like a lot more foreign films, but it's still very lacking. So it's just like, there's no good way to do it right now, unless you have a ton of money to blow on DVDs.
Right.
But I mean, having the Criterion channel at all is just nice to have. And I know when they got rid of Filmstruck, like a lot of famous directors ended up just rallying to get something going again.
It's, you know, it's weird because, like, you know, when you're studying this kind of media in college, you kind of just assume that all of it's going to be very accessible to a university, and then you realize that it isn't, and you're basically on your own.
You know what's funny is that a lot of times film props, when you're making a syllabi, you have to, if there's a movie that's fairly new or that you know is inaccessible, you can't put it on the syllabus. You usually put like film TBD, because you can't have people like looking up your syllabi and then saying like, oh, you're screening this movie, and like you can get in trouble for that, which is so stupid, especially when you consider like these very small intimate classes are maybe like what, 30 students, and you're like making it so these 30 students can't watch the film that's like 50 years old for studying it. Like it's insane.
I have a story of misadventure here. So
I unlocked the bartender.
when I was in college, I was in a class where it was studying like German playwrights and German literature, and at some point, one of the things was, okay, so she wanted us to come to a performance of Mother Courage and Her Children, which was being put on by like the local community theater. But I think she sort of realized that you can't actually, or I'm guessing there was some sort of rule where you can't actually compel people to like come to a performance or something.
Right.
Because
yeah.
she put in like a rider where, okay, if you don't do this, instead you have to write a 10-page essay about like a work of his. So you have a choice between this thing or the other thing. And it's like, okay, nobody's gonna write a 10-page essay in their undergrad for this random elective, so it's, yeah, absolutely everybody is signing up for this performance, including me. And except on the day of, I end up 3 hours late to where we're supposed to meet outside the classroom, I guess, due to a miscommunication involving me not knowing my ass from my elbow. So she's like, okay, so you actually need to do this essay now. Why the fuck didn't you just come to the performance? Here's the movie you're gonna do it on. Or like, here's the play you're gonna do it on. There's a movie version of it, so just do that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Where's the movie? She's like, oh, it's in the library. You can go watch it in the library. I'm like, okay. So I go to the library, like, pretty much the day before it's due because I'm a complete idiot.
Okay,
Oh
so
no!
Right, and I go down there and I'm like, hey, can I have the Galileo Bertolt Brecht thing, please? Or I don't listen to Bertolt Brecht, but can I have the Galileo? You see how much of an impression it left on me. Can I have the Galileo play, please? And they're like, sure. And they put down the DVD and they're like, if you want to watch this, you can use one of these computers here at the library. I'm like, I can't take it home. They're like, no, you definitely cannot take it home. That's the one thing you can't do. You got to watch it right here. I'm like, okay, I guess I got to do this right now. So I pick up the DVD and I like go to a computer.
I would skip movies if that was the only way I had to do it. If I couldn't download it and I had to sit in the library, I'd be like, fuck it, I don't care, I'll look it up. I'm not doing that.
So I put the movie in the computer and I look around. The guy on my left, he's watching a movie with headphones. Look at the guy on the right, he's watching a movie with headphones. I look down at my computer, I realize it doesn't have headphones. None of these computers have headphones. I didn't bring any with me. So I'm like, oh shit. Okay, so I hit mute because I don't want to, disturb all these people with my problems. And I go into the DVD menus and I'm like, okay, subtitles. There we go. They don't have English subtitles. They just have Spanish subtitles. Now I kind of speak Spanish. So I put in the movie and I start watching this movie, this German play. Translated to English with no audio, watching it with Spanish subtitles.
Oh my god.
A language I kind of speak. And but like a play about astronomy. Which, okay. Basically, I get like 2/3 of the way through the movie, and then I'm running out of time, so I'm like, well, I've watched 2/3 of a movie in a foreign language. I think I understand the essence of this play. And I went home and I wrote my essay, and I got like an A-.
There you go.
That was probably one of the dumbest experiences I've had in college.
So we're gonna mess around with the mutators. I've turned on big knockback, disasters every level, exploding bodies, and infinite ammo. We're just gonna run around and shoot everything.
No bobblehead?
Was there a bobblehead one? Did I miss one?
There should be. Every game should have bobblehead.
Bombs are dropping?
Look up.
Oh, Jesus. I was just kind of, if I wait long enough, the obstacles in front of me will take care of themselves.
I apologize, I've not been paying attention to what's going on in the game, but what's going on in the game? What is the objective? I still don't understand the objective to this game.
It's a roguelike. We get these missions, we progress through the level, you unlock characters.
Have
by
we
doing
unlocked
different
anybody
things.
yet?
Oh yeah, a whole bunch of people. Oh shit.
What the heck?
When are we gonna finally do our? When are we finally gonna stop being cowards and do our net hack season?
Oh man.
It's probably like a really great tile set for net hack at this point.
Can I buy anything from you? Are you a shop? No.
Like there's probably a tile set for net hack at this point where we have no like serious justification for not doing a net hack season. Let me put it that way. My wife, she was really into Stone Soup Dungeon Crawl, which is like one of the big, like, I don't want to say it's a competitor to NetHack because they're both free, but it's like, those are like the two main stars in the roguelike tile set, like ASCII constellations. And I was there when one day she beat the game, and she looked at me without a trace of irony, and she said, defeating this game gave me more satisfaction and more pride than getting my graduate degree.
Sure, because by the time you're done and you get your graduate degree, you're just completely a husk of your former self, and you just want it to be over.
I haven't actually asked her if getting her doctorate was more rewarding. I should do that at some point.
Riot. Oh no. Oh shit, it's just a shooter now.
The purge is happening.
Ask her what
And
class
everybody's
race
body
she
explodes when they die.
That is one of the nice things, I guess, about graduate students, is that they you think they're smug maybe at first because they're like, I know a lot and I got degrees and stuff, and you're like, no, they are like the most humble people who are telling people to stay away at all costs, like that everybody else was much smarter than them for doing something else, anything else.
Ooh, I got a shotgun now.
The worst one is people trying to get English PhDs. Like, I think at this point, the only reason you get an English PhD is because either you want to be an English professor, or because you want to continue being rich, but also with a doctorate. Like, if I was rich, I would consider just, like, getting more degrees or whatever, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my god.
That's the Bruce Banner approach.
Yeah, like, there's that tweet going around, like, in reality, anybody with, like, 6 PhDs, like, that person is not doing anything useful.
Well, and it's just like, no one in their right mind would respect that person as a scholar because they're just spending all their time getting degrees. When in reality, no one cares about the work that you do during your degree. It's what you do after that matters. So really, he's just wasting time and no one would really respect him, but I guess besides the fact that he is the literal Hulk. Sarkon was talking about English PhDs because that's what I attempted.
Oh,
so.
shit.
Oh dear.
So I speak from experience.
What's going on?
In which case I did want to be an English professor and then decided I did not want to do that anymore, and so I stopped.
Was that at me, Chris?
I just came back. I had to go. There was.
Well, we turned on a bunch of mutations, so
and then-
now everybody's
Oh,
riding.
wait, hold on, what? Poop-tastrophe?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Which,
But it's taken care of. We're good.
animals or humans?
Animals. Animals.
Wow, Alex.
Well, I don't know. It could, like, there could be a baby over there or a toddler. I don't know what kind of weekend Chris is having.
I guess that's reasonable.
One day I just expect that once any of my friends start having kids, which may be never, that they may bring the baby over and there may be many catastrophes that I will not know how to deal with.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where some of my friends are having children, which you know, I wish them excellent fortune. I'm here for them. It's not really something my wife and I intend to do. I won't say it's because of poop. I will not say that.
It might have something to do with it, though, if you just start adding all the little things.
I won't say that.
It's a benefit. You're like, all these legitimate, very reasonable reasons, but also poop. Ain't no one
Yeah.
want to deal with that.
Right, I remember shitting on things as a child. In retrospect, I'm like, you know what, that was a rotten thing to do. Like, I should not have done that.
Where's the other one?
On purpose. No, I did not, like, deliberately and maliciously poop on things. Although on one occasion in 2nd grade, I was not allowed to go to the bathroom and actually was forced to just shit my pants right there in the classroom.
Oh, man.
Oh my god. That's horrible.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, I was already really unpopular at that point too.
So you got real popular after, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And also, that teacher really liked me too much. So
But not enough to
I'm
let
not
you
sure
go to the
what-
washroom.
Yeah, not enough to let me shit.
Oop.
Remember when like
like-
leggings were a thing?
Leggings?
Are
They're
they
still
not
things
leggings.
for women.
Nylons.
a
That's what I
thing.
meant. Pantyhose.
Oh,
That's the word I'm
nylons.
looking for.
What do you mean when they used to be in?
Well, I'm watching these 80s commercials and I'm seeing commercials for legs with the LEGGS with comes in a little egg, and it just I don't think do people wear those anymore? Is that still a thing?
I don't know what legs is, but pantyhose is absolutely still a thing. It used to be more of a thing, like back then it was just assumed that when you were wearing a dress and you had bare legs that you'd be wearing pantyhose because they make your skin seem smoother and like more even. So it was just like the formal thing to do. You wouldn't show bare legs. But now it's a little bit more okay to wear bare legs with dresses. So pantyhose are less of a thing. And girls are more likely, if they're gonna wear pantyhose, for it to be like a little bit more stylish. For example, the Fire Emblem main character, like she's got those weird sort of like lacy sort of like stocking type things, which don't really look that great in my opinion, but you know, she's doing it.
I mean, you know, I can only speak for my geographic location. Nylons are not super common out here, but leggings kind of just stepped into that.
Yeah, leggings
I'm not
are
sure,
just
like,
a staple right now for like any women's fashion.
Yeah, which I mean, I'd wear them.
You have
Like,
you have leggings?
No, I said I would wear them. I don't know where I could access leggings which would fit.
There's
That would
like all
not-
sorts
would
of
not
like
be-
men's leggings places.
Might look into it. I don't really have too many shirts that go with it.
It is very hard to accessorize leggings if you don't have like a basic solid black color. I have a few zany pairs myself. I have a 2 from Black Milk. One is just like a full print of Han Solo and Chewbacca from, you want to say New Hope in the Millennium Falcon? So one leg has Chewbacca and one leg has Han Solo. Pretty cool.
All these status
I
effects
exclusively
suck
wear
so
them to
much.
the movie theaters when a Star
No,
Wars
no,
movie
no, no,
comes
no,
out,
no!
and that's about it.
They have, I think in GTA 5, they have leggings that are just like kind of a tropical sunset.
Yes,
God,
my
jeez.
character actually wears those.
They're great.
Yeah, I love them. They're definitely easier to get away on a video game character when you can make it look super flattering.
Well, I think I'm Streets of Rogued out. It's interesting. I don't know if I like it enough to like play it more than I already have, but
It seems very loud.
it is. It does have that
I
sort
mean
of
that, like an ludic sense more than like a volume sense.
yeah, no. It has that sort of Heat signature Hotline of Miami-esque, like sometimes shit just hits the fan and you gotta improvise quickly or you're screwed. Less Hotline Miami, more Heat
Certainly.
signature, really, but
I definitely say it's in the upper 50% of games that we've done a one-off stream for.
oh yeah. I think it's interesting that there are like very different ways to play it. Like the hacker does not generally just fight things, but you can like, you know, hack computers and then make the refrigerator run through a wall, make the TV blow up. But yeah.
Why won't they remake Smash TV? Can they do that? I'd like that.
I don't think we had other video game suggestions that any of us felt too interested in doing. Also, I am kind of getting hungry, so I'm gonna go eat.
Can I just say one more
tacos.
thing before we end the stream?
No.
Because I completely
No,
forgot
go
about it,
ahead.
and I was gonna post it today. So occasionally, like, the Mystic Messenger episode 1 pops up, right? Because it's our
Yes.
most popular episode. And I finally decided to look into it. I'm like, why the fuck is everyone watching this video? And I checked the have you ever checked the comments on that video?
Not
Go ahead
in
and
a
do
while.
it. But while everyone else is checking, basically people think that Mystic Messenger is an anime, and because it says episode 1, they assume that it's just a full episode of an anime that doesn't exist. And everybody is very disappointed to find
Finally,
out
I'm
that,
an anime boy.
spoiler warning, is not an anime.
But
It
if we
is
believe hard
fucking
enough, we can be.
hilarious.
I always wanted to be an anime boy, and finally my dream has come true.
Done it, Rutskarn. Alright, thanks everybody for tuning
I
in.
can't believe that episode has 40,000 views.
Yeah,
70,000 views, sorry.
What is our closest video to that in view count? What's our number 2? Like 25?
I think it's just like the first episode of Fallout, right?
Yeah, like
Fallout
Fallout New
3?
Vegas. Not the Fallout 3 season.
29,000 views.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. This has been an interesting video game, and we got to talk
Thanks,
about Blue
everybody.
Pepsi and leggings.
Yep.
And
I'm
poop.
sorry.
You were not
Doubly sorry for that one.
the originator of any of those.
I brought up the food and the poop catastrophe
And the leggings.
and the legging.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good day, everybody. See ya.